I think it's the thing that if you really um, go all in on this, it has the ability to make you realize why you really don't have the results you have in your life are because of these three things. They always come back to these three things. This is not going to your past. This is not about like destructive limiting beliefs. This is about you actually every moment are driven from these three things. Okay. So by having awareness around them and mastery around them will allow you to create anything you want in your life and over the next 3 weeks and beyond. So one of the things that I'm going to go back into, actually, we're not going to go into, is just talking about this. Negative masks destroy relationships. They sabotage your sales and keep you small. Now, these three masks are looking good, being in control, and I want you to get your journals out. If you don't have your journals, get them out now. You definitely want to take notes on this. I want you to hear me and take notes on specific things. We're going to do some journaling exercises. But the negative masks are these masks that we wear from three things. We're always constantly wanting to be right and justify everything. We want to be in control, and our actions and decisions and behaviors are driven from that. Or we're operating our inner operating system, because this is about self-mastery and mastering yourself. We're making decisions constantly from places of looking good. Looking good mask, being right mask, and being in control mask. You already know what mask you show up in probably in the world mostly, but we're going to go deeper on this. Okay. Today we're going to rip off the masks into a new way of being. So, I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay. So how many of you know, how many of you probably don't know? Do any of you know that I was a flight attendant for Delta Airlines for 5 years? Would you believe that I was a freaking flight attendant for Delta Airlines? No. Yeah. I was a flight attendant for Delta Airlines. So my sister is a pilot for United. My other sister's a pilot for Delta. My dad's a retired Continental Airlines pilot, which is now United Airlines. So like I just wanted to fit in with my family. Because I never was accepted growing up, and I had my own unworthy conversations. I'm not enough conversations that showed up in most of my life. And I say this because 2015 came. I needed health insurance because my twins were just born. And I knew I could go work, and I was coaching still. I was still coaching. I was doing personal training. I was coaching people, but I was suffering with an eating addiction at the time. But anyway, long story short, I got a job as a flight attendant, part time. It was full time, but I only worked part time. So I was coaching people on the computer, like fitness training on the computer, and when I got home, my business. So I was hired, but I would fly across the country, and I would only work like maybe like one trip a month because I gave everything away. I just did it for health insurance. I maybe flew twice a month. Most people fly like 5 times a month, but I did it from a place of one mask. One mask actually causes. I chose this career based on the negative mask of control to avoid responsibility. I'm going to say that again. I chose this mask unconsciously from a place to control in order to avoid and escape my responsibility in my life. Why? Because I escaped all my responsibilities with my ex-wife. I didn't show up. I wanted to run far away from being responsible because I lack responsibility, because I had so much anxiety. I could not stay with my kids, Henry, more than 7 seconds without anxiety building. And I had to actually do something to like sedate the anxiety. Most of the time it was food addiction and binge eating heavily. Anxiety, Like I was, where can I go get food right now? How can I stuff my face right now in front of my kids? It was my mechanism, right? But the mask that drove that career was control. I needed control in my life. So the only place I can control in that point was if I was escaping and flying. So I just ended up flying like 2, 4, 5, 6 times in a month. And I loved flying. I felt free. It was a fake way of actually, how do I say? It was a way of escaping, driven from this career, this control. It wasn't real control. It was fake control. Does that make sense? I was I was operating from that place. So because of that, the price that I paid was I lost time with my kids, right? I avoided massive growth and I completely had no power. I felt powerless. So there's a price that you pay by having your number one negative mass show up, a price you pay everywhere. Because that need for control also manifested as anger. When I'm angry, it's because I have a need for control, right? When I show up angry, it's because I'm looking to control. When I am in my looking good mask and I want to be perceived a certain way, it's because I'm fearing connection. So what I'm getting from that is avoiding connection, avoiding intimacy. So I'm getting something with these masks. I put them on and I'm getting something in return. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. What's opening up? Just one person share. What's opening up from this story, from these three different masks? Just what I'm my own story.
Well, me
Yeah.
personally, I'm seeing all of them in my life.
Mm,
I'm just being like, oh, yep, yep, yep. So,
Yeah,
mm.
got it. Got it. And Jake, you were gonna say something?
I was going to say the same. I'm like all feel like I've been, I operate in all three. Um, and looking good, fear of connection, all that kind of stuff. Just starting things are starting to click. Cogs are starting to turn.
Yeah, yeah. Because what happens is that when um you show when you're afraid to connect or be vulnerable, the mask comes up, looking good mask, and you pretend you have it all together,
Mm.
right? You show people one way, you post a Facebook picture, like that's looking good, right? You show up on Zoom, right, with a perfect backdrop, right? You're image driven. It has to look a certain way. It cannot be messy. It has to look a certain way to avoid being rejected.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where I get confused. Then it's like, well, then what? Should I just show up looking like dog shit then? Or is that still like trying to look a certain way?
Actually, I like that. Try it. Let me know how that goes. It's being aware of how you're showing up. Am I talking to this prospect trying to look good? So the words I'm saying is looking a good conversation. I can literally audit someone's sales call and just look at the lens of the mask I know that they're in and just do the whole call and audit it. Every word they vomit out of their mouth is looking good language,
Mm.
is being right language. Most of the time it's looking good. They say the wrong thing, then they'll be if they say the wrong thing, then they'll be criticized or rejected. So it's not necessarily like shit, like looking like shit. It's more of saying the wrong thing. There's a risk of being rejected. So let me keep moving on. Here's my point in all this. We build our careers, our life, our relationships around these masks. All of them. All of our relationships are driven from this. Okay. That's the point I wanted to land. So we're going to take a little more notes. I'm going to go through some things. I want you to write down looking good. I want you to write down approval. Okay. Looking good, you're driven by the need of approval. And you do that by avoiding confrontation. So my experience of this unit since day one, and I said it, do you remember the first fucking message I said in the first week or two, that like drop I did for 18 minutes? I said, "Oh, you looking good motherfuckers. You guys just want to look good all the time. Look good. You just want to look good." I think I said it a month ago too, right? Driven, everything you do is driven from a need for approval because you didn't get the approval growing up as a child. We're not going to go to the backstory on it. It doesn't matter right now. It's becoming aware of it. So what do? You avoid conversation, hard conversations. I lived in a toxic 12-year relationship that should have ended 1 year in, and had 4 kids with a woman because I was driven from this mask. I was so afraid of not looking good with her. Like I didn't have a voice. I felt I was so powerless. But it was safe for me. So let me turn off this music because I can still hear it. Actually, yeah. So I'm going to drop an example in sales. Watch this. We're going to go deeper. We're going to keep going deeper on this, and then we're going to do an exercise. Okay. Looking good in sales. I dropped it in the chat. Talking too much. Actually, Tyler, I want you to read this.
In sales, talking too much on calls, perfecting your background, or always agreeing with your prospects. The secret payoff is secretly avoiding avoiding rejection and feeling liked. Price is inauthenticity, lost sales, and shallow relationships.
Ooh, you guys getting that? There's a place in life that's just showing up. There's the secret payoff. Because if there wasn't a payoff, you wouldn't be doing it. And then there's the price that you pay. You know how much money you all lose just because you're showing up in this mask, right? You're showing up in this mask. Okay, what's coming up right now for you on that, Tyler? So if you read that while I adjust this.
My whole everything is always about looking good, being right, and being in control on every call, on everything that I always do. I talk too
Yeah,
much. I try to correct my words, say the thing the perfect way, try to control the call, everything.
yeah. What about this one specifically that you just read?
Uh, because I do
Which
all
one of
of those
these, if you
things.
could, yeah, what's the big one here for you?
I'll probably always agreeing with prospects is the main one
Granted
for me.
prospects, yeah. Yeah. The fact that you can just own that and you're aware of it right now, it means you have you have power over it. Right? Now, consider this. So the highest form of mastery is leadership. This is why you guys didn't even know, but this program has become a bit of a leadership program, hasn't it? This is intentional. So you can master it by teaching it, right? So I say this because, um, and James, I was going to message this to you, but I didn't. I meant to, is that a lot of you want to lead from a place of looking good. You're leading others in this unit from a place of looking good. You don't want to say the wrong thing. A fear of being what? Not liked. So that's why I want to do this training today, because it's perfect for leadership. Leaders that are in this negative mask, which is also ego. This is ego, right? They're constantly seeking validation. I don't need to be validated. You don't need anyone's approval. So the next one is being in control, driven by fear of uncertainty and losing power. Fear of uncertainty and loss of potential power. So I'm going to drop this one in here. I'm going to have James read this one. Specifically, I'm keeping it in sales right now.
Okay, so in sales, it's sticking rigidly to the script, refusing to delegate and micromanaging prospects. The secret payoff of that is a false sense of certainty and control, and the price you pay is missed opportunities, limited growth, and exhaustion.
Yeah. You could put anything in there. Those are just 3 situations. You could be micromanaging anything in the business, right? So, can you go to a place where this might show up for you at all, James? You can, that's maybe not one
What's
of these, but just anything.
what
Where does being in control? Because you said that's a big one. Where does that show up for you right
being
now?
right is the big one for me, I
Being
think.
right. Okay.
Being in control in sales,
It might not
I don't
show
know.
up at all. Yeah.
No, I don't
Usually
think
it's,
it.
no, yeah, usually it's one or the other. Usually it's one or the other. It's never
Yeah,
above.
being in control isn't a
Yeah.
big one for me. I'm pretty happy to like let the prospect kind of like lead and drive calls if need be. I don't need to take that wheel and really force them through something. That's not something that I find challenged
So
by.
where do you micromanage? Do you micromanage anywhere?
Maybe
Your
myself.
life? Yourself. Okay.
Yeah,
So
if
you're
anything, yeah.
constantly seeking control with yourself if you're constantly micromanaging.
I don't micromanage other people, but I'm
Yeah.
definitely like managing my day like very
Yeah. There's a reason
strictly.
for that. So what's the secret payoff? What do you get from that, doing that?
Uh, if I do that, I
By
feel like
micromanaging your day? Because I do the opposite. That's not my thing. That's your thing.
yeah,
Right?
if I do
Whatever.
that, I feel like that I'm going to achieve certain outcomes by having things planned out like that. I feel like if I don't do that, those outcomes won't occur. So,
Yeah. It's a false sense of what?
I don't know, security, I guess, maybe
Yeah.
trying to
Could be.
guarantee outcomes for myself by planning everything out.
Yeah. 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 What's the price that you pay possibly from doing that?
Well, it causes rigidness. Like for instance, yesterday I I was either going to go I could have kept working at the end of the day and I could have kept doing more sales stuff and I wanted to go skateboarding and I almost didn't to keep doing sales stuff and my partner said, "No, hey, stop doing that. Go do something for yourself. Go have fun. Don't and I did that and that was great, but I had that like sense in me of like, no, I need to do this other thing. I can't let myself do that and change my like plan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Yeah.
missing out on an experience that just like could occur. Yeah.
Missing out on connection
Yeah.
and like the present moment of the experience because
Mm.
you're so busy with being in control of the situation or the rigidity of the schedule, right? What would be the opposite way of being?
Not just letting go of all that, just like just doing whatever
Yeah.
comes up
Yeah.
and just being in that
The opposite of
without
control is
thinking.
what?
Uh, I don't know what the opposite of control is. Just letting go,
Okay, what is
just
it? Let it
release.
go. Yeah. It gets to be easy.
Yeah.
I get to let go. It's surrender. It's a trust. Yeah. Yeah. This next one's an interesting one. Being right. Being right. So I want to make this point. I want you to write this down. Anytime that you justify, you're in a mask of being right. This changed my freaking life. Anytime, any freaking time that you justify anything, man, anything, you're busy being right, and you're going to be right about it. It will destroy everything in your life. Who's got an example of this? James, what's your example?
I mean, I got so many examples.
Yeah,
Like,
give me the one. Give me the one. Give me the
the
big one.
one I mean one that happened recently was like I had an interaction with my partner. She shared something. I wasn't like fully like present and like I said something that didn't, I guess, like acknowledge and accept and validate what she said, and then she got frustrated with me, and then I immediately went to like justifying like why I said the thing that I said instead of just hearing her and being like, hey, yeah, that I should have, that's my fault. I shouldn't have done. I'm sorry. This is what you needed. This, and that caused the
Yeah,
whole thing. It was like a 30
well,
minute like
I get
dialogue
it.
for us to,
I get it.
yeah.
What's the secret payoff? What did you get by being right?
What did I get by being right? I didn't have to
Yeah.
own like being wrong or not.
So
Like,
you got
there's
something from what's the false reward? What's the
what's a
secret payoff?
false reward?
Yeah.
Try,
What's the payoff? What are you getting from it?
guess like safety. I was like, it's like defense
Yeah.
almost. Like, yeah.
It's a sense of control. It's, yeah.
Well, for
Yeah.
me, like it comes from like where my self-worth came from when I was young, and it was all about like doing well academically, and that was all about like being correct. And so
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that really got tied up. Yeah. So
What was the price you pay by showing up and being right with the partner? What's the
Oh,
price that you pay with
call
the
it, call it,
relationship?
it causes problems, lacks connection,
Yeah.
acceptance. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Henry, what's opening up here for you? What's going on with you? Where are you at? Talk to me
Um,
in this conversation.
being right. Um, I'm not really sure where that comes. I think for me, it's more about kind of making decisions in the face of looking good.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't really think being right is a is a strong one for me, but maybe
Yeah.
that can kind of like blend in with that whole looking good
Yeah.
because if you think about it, like I guess like sharing my opinions on a team meeting or role playing in front of others, like that's a fear of not being right.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you clear that that's your number one biggest mask? Negative mask
Yeah.
is
Well,
looking
looking
good,
good or being right?
huh?
Looking
Looking
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm clear on that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Eh,
definitely thought that was my biggest master.
I want you to write this down. This is massive. And for anyone else that has this mask, anytime you perform for approval, you're in the mask of looking good. Anytime you perform to get approval, you're inauthentic. You're being inauthentic and you're doing it. You're in this mask. I
I
could
have a
send you
question.
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
What about like I'm just thinking of like sales trainers out there, right? You probably know who they are. They get on and do a role play in front of everyone, and I can kind of now we're doing this deep work. I kind of like see through it. It's like they're doing it for a bit of an ego boost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're in
But
the industry
like
masks. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
so,
Spot in
but how
seconds.
comes it's not really negative for them that they're using it and it's actually positive because it's giving them
Because
confidence,
they're
or is that
getting a
not right?
secret payoff. They're leveraging the secret payoff. But you know what? They're paying the fucking price, Henry. They're
In
paying the
what way?
price. In what way? Massively.
Mm,
Most people that are wildly successful that show up in these high states of ego are desperately unhappy. That's why. Or they're suicidal. Or they have anxiety and depression. A
mm,
lot of them. I don't know the numbers, but it's pretty high. 40% plus, something like that. Yeah. There's a bigger price that they pay by being in these states. Overexhaustion, burnout. Like you can only hold on to that image so long. And in
mm,
3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it comes crashing down. It does, if not already. Or their 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 life is great on paper, but the relationships suck. They're not aligned in all domains of life. Their relationships are terrible. They're out of shape. They're fat, right? They're eating like shit. They have shitty energy, but they come in a looking good mask, like they got it all fucking together. And they only know business and sales and training, so they fire away because that's what they dominate in. So they use that as a way of control. They live in their mask, and that they chose that profession because it's a need for control. So this is where they can control. They just chosen a career in their mask and
mm,
completely unaware of it. And it's working for them. You get that? You know what I'm saying? It's working.
mm.
They've never gone through an ego death, a death and rebirth. So do you know why Oliver's not here? Why he left in the
Why?
first month? Because of it,
No.
because of his mask of being right.
Why?
He justified everything. I got on a call with him even like multiple times, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know I was justifying this," and he was trying to be right about everything, right about why he can't do this evolution, is right, why he can't spend an hour right? Why he can't spend an hour here or there. He justified he was making so much shit up about being right all the time. And I made this point to them. He's like, God, no one's ever told me that. But then his shadow, because it became a dark shadow, it ate him up so much because he's so used to the pattern that he just said, fuck it, I'm out. Because he was getting a secret payoff of whatever it was. He wanted to be right about everything. Wanted to be right about the experience, wanted to be right about this program, wanted to be right about me. This is how he showed up. And the crazy part about it is, you guys remember the 5 savage shadows, is one of them is being right. Be careful, because it will fucking attack you and you will quit the program. I set the frame. Like, I shit you not, on purpose. And look who's left. And now I get to the training on it, because you're ready for it. You're ready for it. It's like, you're all fucking leaders. You'll play by your own rules. You will manipulate the process. You will justify to be right about something, even if it's not facts, because you want to feel safe. You're getting a payoff. You fall back into old habits and to feel safe. Yeah, you become a spectator. It's crazy, right? That's why he's gone. Can't help someone that wants to be right. That's why I set that frame. The guy reached out to him. I'm like, man, like, whatever you need, let me know. It's like, never heard from him, because he's making money. He's okay being right about what he wants to be right about, but his relationships are not on fire. Unfortunately, he's struggling, but he gets to have his own experience, and that's perfectly fine. It's beautiful for him. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. By the way, write this down. This is for the control. Any time that you micromanage, you're the mask of being in control. That's it. You're the mask of being in control. Micromanage. Micromanage. That's the magic word. So let's do an exercise. Okay. I'm gonna drop these in the chat. This is the prompts. Okay. I want you to identify the negative mask you wear the most. What's the mask? What's the payoff? What's the secret payoff? Right? What's the price you pay? And decide. When did you decide that this mask is necessary? Like the biggest one. Like, what's the number one that shows up the most? Because I get there might be 2 or 3, but what's the big one that we could start working on over the next 3 weeks and having power over it and making decisions not from that place and using the inner shift tool moment to moment to shift. Oh, I'm busy being right. Okay, what do I actually want? You see, where am I at? What do I want? What am I committed to? By when? Okay, I'm gonna commit to actually being in relationship versus being right. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna tell her I love her. Did you guys get that? See, inner shift in action within these 3 parameters. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. What's the negative mask you wear the most? What's the secret payoff? When you're always looking good when you wear this mask. What is the payoff that you get when you're in this mask? Looking good gives me safety, right? Being right gives me validation, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Notice if you try to go to perfection, having it figured out right now, you want to be right but the right way to do it. Like, let that go. All right. What's the price you pay for wearing this mask? And then, when did you first decide this mask was necessary? Okay. When did you first decide it's necessary? Because we're not doing shadow work. We're not going to the root. We're not going to painful moments. It's just like, oh, fuck. This is when it first showed up. Awareness. And it's a little bit of healing. It's like, it just touches that. So, and this is a sentence. So on your journal, it's just mask, payoff, price, decide. Sentence.
What's the side?
What's that? When
What's
you
the
first
side?
decided this mask was necessary. Yeah. Like, when was the first, like, age 15, mom ignored me, had to swim meet. And so I decided for it to show up, right? right? Just one moment, not the perfect moment,
So
any
why
moment.
is
So
that? Why is that important? Why do we need to find out when it first showed up? What's the kind of rationale behind that?
Tyler, why do you think it's important to go a little bit deeper to see where it came from a little bit?
Probably so that we can heal it, understand it.
Yeah. So you can feel it, Henry.
Mm.
Yeah. If you feel it, you can heal it. If you can heal it, it doesn't haunt you as much. Then you have a softness that shows up. Because if we do it from a cognitive place and not in an embodied place, then it's not going to be permanent. It's not going to make an imprint on your body. If we can get it in your body a little bit deeper so you feel it, so you like have an embodied imprint of it, then it has the ability to actually um, chip away a little bit. It's not permanently chip, but it's like chips away. It's like, oh, 15. Yeah, got it. Deeper consciousness, if you want to use that word. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys do this. Spend 2 minutes on this. Okay. 2 minutes on this. Turn your cameras off and turn them back on when you're done. I'm gonna call out when you get a minute left. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the number one mask. The payoff.
I can't decide,
Yeah, it's the big one.
to be honest.
I know the
I can't
feeling.
I don't know if it's the looking good mask or if it's the wanting to be right.
Let's
Yeah.
pause for a second. Let's come back on camera. Let's all support each other. Like we got this amazing group. I want, here's how we'll do it. We'll do like a voting system so we can give you feedback. Um, actually, let's go each person. So we'll go James first, either looking good, control, or being right. I want everyone just to go down the lane here. Jake,
Jake?
yeah, so James is up. Jake's gonna go, Kevin's gonna go, Tyler's gonna go, then Henry's gonna go, then I'm gonna go. So we're just gonna say what he believes is the mask that you see experience him in most, or
Okay.
from your perspective. Yeah. So
Looking good
so James is up first. Okay. James says looking good.
for Jake, yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
for
this is
Jake.
for James or Jake?
So now since we fucked it up, it's probably my fault for going quickly. We'll go Jake first. It's fine. Everyone spotlight for Jake. Jake goes last. I'll go second to last. All right. James says looking good. All right, Kevin.
I'm gonna go with a little control.
I'm gonna go with control as well. I think
Henry.
Henry's up.
I'm just thinking. I'm a bit. Well, I immediately. I thought looking good first, and then the others in control. But it's a
Yeah.
close call between those two, I would say.
Yeah.
So
I
Patrick,
believe,
you're the decider.
yeah, I believe looking good after seeing your call review. 100% looking good. Yeah. Doesn't mean the other
Yeah.
one's not suitable. I just feel like that's what I'm, and the messages and words and the way you communication. Yeah. Not good or bad. I'm not assessing you or judging you. Just one of my experience. Yeah. So that'll be
Yeah.
yours. If you choose
Yeah.
it, you can choose something else. Otherwise,
No, I was picking
yeah,
between that and wanting to be right. The actual one being in control. Maybe I've misread
yeah,
the details in that, but yeah, looking good. I'll go with that for sure.
yeah. Okay. Replace. James is up. Let's go Kevin first. Kevin, Tyler, Henry, Jake.
I'm gonna go with control as well
I'll go with
for
control
James.
as well.
Yeah, I'll go control.
Control.
So
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking control, but I'm also thinking the wanting to be right. But the control one, I'm a bit confused on it. Fear of uncertainty and loss of potential power. How would that be? Like, give me an example of what that would look like in a real life setting, Patrick. or someone?
for being in control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't get too caught up in that. You're
Okay.
driven by uncertainty. When you don't have something in you want in your life, you do
Mm,
things to like micromanage,
okay.
which is a false sense of controlling the thing.
Which we spoke
So
about
like
before about the skateboarding
yeah,
thing.
like
Okay. Cool.
yeah, like my example, I needed to be in control because my whole
Mm,
life was a mess. So I took
mm,
a position as a flight attendant where I was flying around the world and escaping,
mm,
right, in order to control, to bring a false sense of control.
mm, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
We'll
my
go with being in
payoff was
control.
avoiding responsibility. I loved it.
I
I
can
fucking
actually see
loved
why
it.
now you guys, a couple of the guys said being in control for me. Cool. All
Yeah.
good.
So you're avoiding vulnerability or avoiding responsibility or avoiding, right? Addiction, a lot of people in addiction, control is
Yeah.
the big one. FYI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
Massive.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Kevin, spotlight. Let's, okay. What we got for Kevin?
Being in control.
I think looking good.
Yeah. Looking good for me.
Tim,
Yeah, I'd
did you
agree
go?
with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, looking good.
Looking good. Yeah. Tyler?
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, I'd agree. Looking good as well.
And looking good. Yeah. Let's go.
Because I
Henry.
fixed my hair because I think it's control. Hang on a second, because I thought it was control. And I
Doesn't
just
matter.
fixed my
Doesn't
hair
matter.
one
Doesn't
time because I
matter.
thought I wanted to look good. Okay, got it.
It doesn't matter. It's just you're getting some feedback too. This is valuable. Okay. Versus
All
what
right.
your perception is. All right. Henry.
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
I think it's being right.
Say looking good.
Man, it's a tie between being right and looking good. They work together.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they really work together.
Yeah.
Uh, they're parts of you, right? Parts of you. Uh, okay, so looking good, looking good. Yeah. All right. So what do you do with all this? It's a question. Well, step one is aware of it, right? Your part of your homework assignment, right, is between now and this is going to be extended, okay, through the weekend, through Mondays, is to do 5 of these. Okay, do 5 of these. Nice, I like that, Henry. Do 5 of these, and I want you to be specific. So, like, if you're in sales, I know James, you're selling. Tyler, you're selling. Where does this show up in sales? So you can allow it to not control how you're showing up in sales. Like fuck it, you do 5 of these. You could literally do Tyler. You could literally do like 10 of these just in sales in one mask, and then like you can go to your sales process and be like, this is where it's showing up. This is right. You just awareness. So then when it shows up in those moments, you can shift them. Like I'm looking good here when I say, "Hey, how's it going, brother?" Right? It's like, "Hey, I want to be liked. Hey, how's it going, brother?" Right? That's you wanting to be liked. I'm laughing, but you guys know I sent the call with you. want you to notice when it shows up because it's sneaky as fuck. It'll show up all the time, everywhere, all the time, everywhere, in every conversation with every person on the planet, it shows everywhere. So how many times can you notice it showing up? Like you literally are gonna like say shit unconsciously to people, and that's the looking good mask showing up. It's not you. It's what it's choices you've made to survive. It's like your current identity, the mask, but it's because of it's a mechanism, it's protection. It's like, oh shit, did I just say that to look good? Right? No, now I'm just gonna be me. There's the mask. I'm just gonna be me. It's shifting. I'm gonna be me. I approve myself. I don't need anyone's approval. Right? You control, right? Being right, you're gonna justify everything. Notice you justify. When you justify, that's it. Where are you justifying? With who? Justifying why to do something, why you don't do something. You're being right about it. Right? It's gonna show up. Just notice that, and then start to notice it in others. It's so fun for me now. Like I used to get like so frustrated because I'm like, they don't know. It's like you're just, especially sales calls. People are like people pleasers everywhere, being want to be liked in every single word. I'm like it's too much training.
So yeah, like sales, in a meeting, just not speaking out because of, I don't want to get it wrong, or like what Henry was saying earlier, not speaking up maybe because you don't trust yourself enough in what you're saying because you want it to look perfect.
Okay, and
So that
what's the payoff from that? What are you getting from doing that? From not speaking up? This
the
false
payoff
sense of what?
is I'm avoiding, I'm avoiding, I'm the payoff is I'm avoiding.
By not speaking up, you're
uh,
what are you getting from that?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, you're getting something.
I mean, well, yeah, I'm getting, getting, uh, fuck, I got no idea
If
what
you
I'm
were
getting.
to raise your hand up and actually
Yep.
speak up, you're risking something heavily.
Oh, being liked. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, you're risking right because your fear of
Being
rejection.
right.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have to be rejected or criticized,
Okay.
right, or be
Yep.
judged. So the price or the payoff that you get is that you get to be accepted and liked by everybody.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel any pain, emotional pain by being wrong,
Mm.
risk being wrong, or risk being judged.
Mm.
You get something significantly for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's one example like of sales, but like, how does that sort of, Tyler was saying, that's probably the, to differentiate the two.
Yeah.
When is looking good like actually a good thing?
It's not, in my opinion, in my experience. It's a mask. It's not who you are. It's an identity.
Mm.
It's a mask you put on to survive.
So like when you go out, you want to like shower, spray some cologne, maybe, just like look
So
good.
you're thinking the real looking good. I want to look good. I want to look clean and professional, right? You're talking like, hey, that's okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that's different. This is completely
Okay.
different. These are
Okay.
egos. An ego is always at play. Either
Yeah. Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
good, right? Think of it as need for approval. You're
Okay.
constantly saying things for approval. To your mom, I have like six with my fucking mom
Mm.
still that show up. Now they don't show up anymore because I'm no longer seeking approval.
Yeah.
I used to do shit to seek approval all the time and I never got it.
Mm.
And so I would do shit, right? And it right? Look good in front of my mom. Or I wouldn't do certain things and made decisions because I didn't want to look bad in front of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do Facebook live videos for a good amount of time because she used to criticize the videos,
Mm.
right? And say to me. So I was like, I want to look good for my mom. So I stopped doing videos The secret payoff was mom would like me. Price I paid didn't, it didn't serve my mission, my passion, and my mission, my business. The list goes on and on and on. I can every family member,
Mm. No, I get that. Yeah.
close relationships. You guys getting that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.